Hey guys, what's up? It's me, the Silent Soul again, and I'm going to do my first video review of the T3 K3 Airsoft gun. Okay, the T3 K3, it's got an FPS of about 330 to 370 from when I shot it. It's accurate up to about 100 feet, and it's got a rate of fire from like 8 to 10 rounds per second, approximately. I've never actually recorded it, but that's what I think it is. Now, I got this gun a while back when I first started doing Airsoft. It was about 1 to 2 years ago, so I've had this gun for quite a while, so I can give a really detailed long-term review over it. And being a JG gun, it's a pretty good beginner gun. I mean, but only for beginners. I would not suggest this to expert level players because with the JG brand, very cheap brand, just. Okay, so anyways, onto the gun now. This is the box. You can see it's pretty long, and the gun's actually a really long rifle. Let me go ahead and unbox this for y'all. And this is what the package has inside. It's got the gun itself, a muzzle cover, which I think I lost, a charger, magazine, battery, which is actually pretty decent. I use it as a backup, pack of BBs, unjamming rod, and the manual. Onto the gun itself, it's a G3 model. It's so it's really long. I would not suggest using it for close quarters, although you can. It's got a little charging lever right here, so you can HK slap the crap out of it. But do be careful with it though, because this pin right about here will start coming out if you do. See. Kind of pokes out after enough uses. But anyways, at first the gun feels very moderately heavy. It's plastic, and I mean, it seems sturdy enough. It's a good build, so if you drop it or such, should be okay as long as you don't land on it in the middle to where it snap, because I could see it doing that. Also, something you should know about the externals is I've seen this problem happen with a lot of other people, and it happened to myself. My gun does not have the safety selector switch on it because it was loose whenever it first came in, and I never got a chance to tighten it or even try to if you can. It ended up falling out before the first game. So what I do now is I just take a flathead or a knife or something. I just turn the safety selector and it works just fine here. The magazine it comes with is a pretty decent magazine. It's full metal, but the only problem I would have with it is that this little plate right here that you put all the BBs in, it tends to wear down, so you probably end up needing putting tape over it to keep it shut so all your BBs don't spill out everywhere. That's what I do, but it doesn't interfere with the gun itself or how it functions, so that's just a small minor problem. Also, if you want to attach a 2-point sling or a 1-point sling on the back or anything, this little thing right here is very low. So as you can see, I have a bunch of scratches on it from trying to put my sling on and all that. It's just a very low sitting object right here. You'll end up scratching up your gun if you try to put a sling in like that. But what I did is this little screw right here you can take out. What I do is I put a little loop around it on my sling and I just push it back in, although it sucks trying to get it out though. But on the front end, this point right here is just perfect. It's fits every sling very nicely. It's just good. Other than that, the gun itself is actually a very well built gun, especially for a JG. The whole body is pretty sturdy. Nothing should fall off other than those little loose parts I told you about. Watch out for little bolts that might fall out, like this one up by the charging handle right here. Also, the dust cover does not fully close whenever you close it, so I just kind of push it up. It's not a big deal though. And sometimes the body will creak and stuff, so after you hold a full metal gun, you'll start feeling this gun's very cheap. But I still think it's very well built, and it should last you for a couple games. Now moving on to the internals and performance. The internals are a little troublesome. I've had the gearbox on mine lock up a couple times, and it's just completely did not work in the middle of a game. Right now I have this fire selector problem, which it won't shoot right on single fire, and yeah, but I mean that's what you get from a $130 gun especially from like a subpar brand. You can definitely find better guns out here, but overall, I mean, I think it's a great beginner gun. I've gotten many kills with it, and got many memories too. It's a great gun. Okay, battery compartment's a little tricky because what it will do is like this wire right here will run below on that surface right here, if you can see, and a battery is supposed to hook up right here and just slide in there. You can see some styrofoam pads in there for like just stability, and like sometimes those will get knocked around, knocked off, and sometimes it'd be hard to like yank a battery out. But to just be really careful of the wires back here, because I haven't yet like pulled out a fuse or anything, or like pulled out a wire, but stuff's happening. Especially when you put back on the buttstock, you want to make sure the battery's secure in there, because sometimes it will just like lock up and be extremely hard to take off or impossible to take off. But what I would do is I just fix it by like taking off the little cover. It's like this buttstock, you can take off the cover on. Like pull it hard enough, it'll come back in two pieces, and you can like start putting the battery back in with these two holes right here, and it'll work just fine. Just snap it right back on, and it'll work. Performance-wise, the gun's very accurate. It'll shoot about a palm-sized grouping in about, say, 80 feet, and that's pretty good for stock parts. I would recommend if you buy this gun to like start upgrading the internals and maybe get a tight bore barrel on it, and it'll just like totally rip up that field. I've gotten quite a few kills with it myself. It's very powerful too. Spock says like 338 on the FPS, but it ended up shooting really close to 400 at my field. And it's got like no problems with shooting full auto, so feel safe with doing that. And it's just a overall decent gun. Factoring in everything, I think I'd give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's a beginner's gun. Yeah, just keep that in mind. You do not want to buy this if you're wanting to get more serious. I'd recommend going with a better, higher-end brand like ICS or Classic Army, and just investing in full metal guns. But this is a very decent beginner's gun. I've been pleased with it. It served me well for a few over the years, and I'm trying to figure out problems with it now. Maybe upgrade it a bit so it can still work on the field. Other than that, yeah, it's a pretty decent gun. I thank you all so much for watching. I could not test fire it right now because I don't have a charged battery, but it's a good gun. I'd recommend it for beginners. Buy off of Airsoft GI or Evike. They're good retailers to buy from. I've got mine from Megastore, but I mean they kind of talk up everything on there, so watch out for that. And yeah, other than that, leave any questions or comments down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.